guys, welcome to this new video. Today we are going to talk about Kubernetes cluster component, right? We are going to see exactly what's happening in the cluster. The cluster is also called the worker node, and the worker node is just like a group of node, right? And node is just a simple virtual machine. So today we are going to talk about Kubernetes cluster component, and we are going to see, for example, what do we have in the Kubernetes cluster. So let's deep dive into the topic. Now, the cluster is also called worker node, right? So people might say worker node, people might say cluster. It means the same thing, right? It's also known like that. So you might hear people out there say Kubernetes cluster, and they might hear people out there say Kubernetes node. But at the end of the day, all this means the same thing, right? It means the same thing at the end of the day. So let's deep dive into this, for example, a cluster or a worker node, right? A cluster or a worker node. So in a cluster, the minimum number of nodes you can have in a cluster is 1. So for you to have a Kubernetes environment, you will need a cluster with at least 1 node. So the minimum number of nodes that you can have is at least 1. And depending on the use case, depending on what you are trying to achieve, so you might see for like quick testing, if you want to just do a quick testing of a simple application, you can use a cluster with a single node. And depending on the workload that you have, when I say workload, I'm talking about, for example, the number of application that you are consuming your cluster, everything. You can have probably 2 node, or maybe 3 node, or maybe 4 node, right? Or maybe more. So it just depends on the use case. And you can even go up to 5,000 nodes if you want. You can go up to 5,000 nodes. And like I mentioned earlier at the introduction of the video, worker node or cluster, it's just an environment where one or multiple nodes are located. So when we say Kubernetes cluster or Kubernetes worker node, these are just an environment where a node lives. It can be a single node or it can be multiple nodes, depending on the use case. But at minimum, you will need at least a single node to run a Kubernetes environment, right? So that's just what is called the cluster. So inside the cluster, we have node. So that's just if somebody asks you what is a Kubernetes cluster, you just claim that, oh, in the Kubernetes cluster, we have node, just an environment that whole node, right? Simple as I said. I hope you like it. I'll see you guys in the next video.